up, YouTube? It's your boy Tech to the B to the Swift. Today we're gonna do a quick, it won't be really quick, but we're gonna do a comparison video between the iPad Pro 9.7 and the Surface Pro 3, which is a 12-inch obviously tablet. So let's jump into it and get started. Just for starters, like I said, I've been in the tech world for a long time, so I've had almost every tablet phone that was out that was worthwhile, from the iPad Mini 1 and 2. I believe this is the iPad 3. This is the iPad 4. I sold my Air, and then both of my kids, they both have iPad Mini 2s upstairs. So I never had the Air 2, but I had the Air, which is essentially just like the Air 2. So in this review, what we're going to do is compare the specs on a very high level between the Surface Pro 3, the iPad Pro 9.7. We're going to look at the pens. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to pick up the keyboard because Apple and Best Buy is holding my keyboard hostage because they didn't have any in stock at the time. So I'm still waiting on that. Once that comes in, then I'll have the keyboard as well, and we can do a keyboard comparison. But we do have the pens, so let's jump into it. Now, let's throw this out here for this disclaimer. I'm not loyal to any product in the sense of I only mess with that product. I like the best technology. Whoever has the best, I'm rolling with it at the time. Whether it be Apple, whether it be Android, whether it be Microsoft, I don't care. If BlackBerry come out with something amazing, I roll with BlackBerry. But I just like technology, and I like to keep up to date with the coolest things. Also, I understand that there's a huge difference between the Surface Pro 3 12-inch and the iPad 9.7, but we're focusing more on functionality. And to answer that question, which one should I buy? Because I'm this type of user. So let's jump into it. Starting with the iPad Pro 9.7, some of the specs on this. Actually, let's just run the specs side by side and look at them real quick. The processor and the iPad is a chip that's made for cell phones and tablets, versus the processor and the Surface is actually a computer processor. So this is the iPad has a A9X chip with an M9 coprocessor. That's for your graphics, and so other things run a lot faster. The Surface Pro 3 comes in three varieties, which is the i3, the i5, and the i7, which is the Intel. And these are the Skylines, or the new Surface Pro 4 had the Skyline processor, and then the Surface Pro 3 they have the Haswells. So I have the i5 version right here. As far as RAM, 2 gigs of RAM, and the iPad, and then inside the Surface is 8 gigs of RAM. Screen on this one right here is 9.7, but you can also get the 12.9 iPad Pro. And on this right here, you only get 12 inches. That's the only option. No jokes. So the weight on the iPad Pro is 9.7. I know, or excuse me, 0.96 pounds. I know the iPad 12.9 is a little bit more because it's a lot bigger device. And with the Surface Pro 3 is 1.7 pounds. One of the features on this is the fingerprint security. They have Touch ID on here. You can unlock and lock your finger with your finger. With the Surface, I have to use the old password. Enter your password, your PIN, boom, you're in. I prefer the touch on this without a doubt. As far as the screens, this has a much higher quality screen to me. This is 264 pixels per square inch. The Surface Pro 3 is 2160 by 1440. You can do the math and figure out the pixels per inch. But from a standpoint of using it every day, looking at videos, I prefer to look at the iPad without a question. Okay. As far as the cameras, on the iPad, you have a 12 megapixel camera on the back, and on the front, you have the front-facing camera for FaceTime, which is a 5 megapixel camera. And on the Surface Pro, you have 5 and 5, so 5 on the front and 5 on the back. For me, not a big deal because I'm not taking pictures with any one of these. I see people all the time like holding this or holding their Surfaces or Android tablets, taking pictures while they're in the middle of the mall or at some theme park. Like, that's just crazy. Pull out your phone and buy a camera. The video camera in this one is really, really nice. It does have 4K capability. It can also record in slow motion at 1080p. It does 120 frames per second, and at 720p it does 240 frames per second. I'm going off the top of the head. It's not even really worth mentioning in the Surface Pro 3 because it's just not a huge feature. It can record videos, but like a 5 megapixel camera it's not coming out that sharp. For the iPad, you have 4 speakers, so it's kind of like a surround sound speaker system where you have one here, and then you have one here and one here. On the Surface, you have 2 speakers, but they're kind of the front-facing speakers, which is what I prefer always. You have one here, and then you have one here. So, as far as sound quality, watching videos, they both sound great. If I had to get the edge to one of them, I would probably say that the iPad Pro is a little bit louder. It's a little easier as far as like hearing sound from both sides, but I kind of like the projection of and how the sound is amplified from the Surface because it does have the speakers on the front. So they're both great, but I would have to say that the iPad has a slight advantage on that one. As far as battery life, you can get around 10 hours, 10 to 12 hours, I would say, depending on what you're doing with the iPad. And with the Surface Pro, you can get anywhere from between 9 and 10 hours, depending on what you do. So the battery life is a little bit longer on the iPad Pro, but it also is running a smaller processor. It's also a smaller device. So it's kind of plus and minus between all of it. So with that said, let's jump into it. So a lot of the questions is, which one should I buy? Which one is for me? And it really depends on your personal preference and what you use your device for. What are you looking for? So if you're looking for a lightweight device that's very thin, I mean, as you can see, that's razor thin. I think it's 0.6 millimeters. Lightweight, I mean, you can hold it with one hand and just fling it around. Great battery life, and you're just a person who likes to surf the internet, and check your email and watch the little Netflix, Hulu. This is an excellent device. For $599, it's kind of expensive in my opinion, just because if you have an iPad Air or iPad Air 2, it's not a huge advantage. They haven't really upgraded to the point where I think you need to go sell those devices and you have to run out and get this. With the Surface Pro 3, this is a device for people who wants a computer on the go. So you want a full-fledged computer that has the ability to act as a tablet, have touchscreen, but yet you want to be able to run native Windows applications. This is the device that you want because it runs a full Windows system. Now I know with the iPad, there's a lot of things you can do today with the iPad. There's a lot of apps out there that make it very user-friendly, that makes it very functional. I know you can do some CAD designs on this. You can do some lightweight, video editing. It says it can edit 4K with no problem, but at 2 gigabytes of RAM, it's going to be some limitations without question. With the Surface has the ability to run all Windows applications. Log in. I want y'all to see my password. Has the ability to run all Windows applications. As I said, it is a full-featured 100% computer along with a tablet at the same time that's on touchscreen. But there's some pros and cons to it. It is running Windows. Some people are very invested into the Android ecosystem. They already have a ton of apps for their phones and older tablets. They want to be able to just download them and go. And that's going to be the people who's going to lean more towards going to the iPad Air. So some cool things they have, features of both of them. I would probably say the biggest feature is coming out as being the pen, right? So they both have pens. So even though I have a Surface Pro 3, I have the Surface Pro 4 pen, which I love. For anyone who has a Surface Pro 3, I strongly suggest you get the Surface Pro 4 pen and keyboard. It makes it like a totally different device, okay? I mean, this is without a doubt amazing. With the Apple pen, it's very sleek. It's a very, very nice design. It feels great in the hand. Honestly, I prefer the Surface Pro 4 pen better. It feels more natural. It's a little fatter, so it's easier for me to grip on. And then also, too, the price difference is pretty big. I mean, you're talking about you spending $599 for an iPad Pro, and then you got to go spend $100 for a pen. And with the Surface Pro 3, you can find these now, because they clearance them off everywhere. You can find them for roughly $699, sometimes, a little less, depending on what model you buy. And it comes with the pen included. Once again, it doesn't come with this pen included. It comes with the Surface Pro 3 pen, but it's still a very nice pen. If you want to buy the Surface Pro 4 pen, it only costs you $50. So that's not a big deal, right? As far as the pens themselves, we'll test them out. I will definitely give Apple a lot of credit. For them to release this as their first pen, I think this is awesome. As you can see, it's very pressure sensored. If I go real light, I don't know if you can see that. Put it a little closer for you guys. If you go real light on the sensitivity, it goes really light, right? You press hard, it starts to get a lot darker. You want to scribble in, shade in. I mean, I'm not the best drawer. I'm not trying to color in the lines, but I'm just showing you guys, like, it works. It works well. I'm a big fan of this pen. I think they did a very good job with it. To charge it, you just pop it over, and you can plug this into your actual tablet and charge it that way, or you can charge it using one of your other lightning cables, power chargers that came with one of your other devices. They do not include a charger with this pen, which I think is a huge downfall. They do give you an adapter so that you can plug your charger into this right here, but they do not give you a charger for this pen. I think at $100 they could have spared a charger, even a cheap charger. But as far as a pen, I mean, if you're a CAD designer, drawer, somebody who likes to doodle, this is a very, very nice pen. They did an excellent job with this. Take notes. They did quality. Quality job. I give Apple some credit on this. As far as the Surface pen, to me, I love it. I mean, it's not really anything else I can say about it. It does the same thing. It has the pressure sensitivity into it. But it writes like a dream, man. I mean, I absolutely love this pen. I use it all the time. I'm a big fan of the Surface just because of the functionality. If Apple made a tablet and computer in one, I'll be gone in a heartbeat. Just because I'm a big fan of the OS system. But Apple wouldn't do that because it would cut into their laptop sales and their tablet sales. So if I had to give a win to either one, I would give the win to the Surface because I feel the Surface is a little smoother. I do like the pen tip a little bit more on the Surface. It's a little more refined. It's just more comfortable to hold, and like I said, I definitely enjoy using both of these devices without a doubt. Cool feature that the Surface have that obviously Apple can't do is the kickstand. So I have a little Velcro here. This is from when I'm attaching things to my Surface Pro, but there's a kickstand here. As you can see, everybody knows about the kickstand on the Surface. It allows you to sit your device up. It allows you to lay your device all the way down. It's just comfortable to use. So that's a cool feature that's built in. Yes, if you have a case for the Apple, then you don't have to worry about that. You can use your case, but without a case, you can't do it. Okay, I mean that's just the bottom line. If you land in bed, watching movies, reading the internet, I would definitely hands down go with the iPad. I mean it's just so lightweight, it's so comfortable. Battery life is great. It's great on the eyes. It's very vivid. And like I said, it's a traveling device. It's one that if you want to carry something that's super, super minimal, I mean, look how thin that thing is. You have to go with the iPad. If you want something that's full-fledged PC-like at all times, but still gives you that functionality of a tablet, then you go with the Surface Pro. So let's jump into it. Let's go to YouTube. Let's do like a sound test video. Oh, I'm sorry, I wasn't on the address bar. So that's YouTube. Alright. Let's go to sound test. This is a good test. Let's see if they give us the same results or if the results are based on iPad versus iPad users will use versus other people. Nope, same exact results. So I'm going to surround sound test. Hit pause on that, and I'm gonna start with the iPad. Ah, come on, don't do me like that. Sorry. Oh, come on. Sorry about that. It tried to force me to download the YouTube app, which I did not want to do. I just wanted to run it off my native browser, and it closed me out. All right, here we go. So, here you go as far as the four speakers. So that was a brief 30 seconds. Now we're doing it on the Surface. Oops. And there you go. So when it comes to the two devices, I'm gonna have to give the win to the iPad by far. I mean, the sound quality on the iPad was outstanding. Sorry I had to crop this video. My kids came downstairs and talking about she had to take a number 2. I didn't think y'all wanted to hear that whole conversation. So if you notice that it's a glitch and I had to merge 2 videos, that's why. But like I said, the sound quality of this thing is it's amazing just to be such a small device. So big ups to Apple on that one. Sound quality is definitely a lot better. I know some people out there are going to argue where you got the Surface 3 versus the iPad Pro 9.7. They about a year apart. Who cares? Okay, I mean, it's just talking about sound quality. We're talking about what's reasonable as far as price wise, expectations. And I'm telling you that Surface Pro 3 versus the iPad Pro 9.7, the Pro wins hand down, and that'd be the iPad Pro. So as far as in terms of what you get for your for your money, with this you get the Touch ID sensor. Like I said, you get the front facing camera, you get the rear facing camera with the flash, True Tone flash, microphone. You get the 2 speakers at the top like I mentioned earlier, 2 speakers at the bottom, and then you get your lightning jack for charging your device. Also on the bottom you get the I'll call it like docking station, where the keyboard docks into it so that you can use your keyboard and it works very fluently. I've tried it on the Pro 12.9. That's why I'm saying it can work fluently. Once again, I don't have it for this device. And as far as the Surface Pro, or another thing with this too, with the lightning adapter at the bottom, you can buy camera accessories and stuff like that, but that's as far as the extent goes. As far as external hard drives and all that type of stuff, you really can't get down with it. You really can't do it. With the Surface Pro, you get the headphone jack on the side. You get the DVI port, which allows you to display whatever's on your screen out to whatever you want to. If you're doing presentations to a TV, Netflix, you want to project it on your TV, whatever. You have USB 3.0, which is a big deal because this allows you to connect like a 3.0 external hard drive, a USB flash drive, and take your information with you. Plus you can plug in your cell phone, your tablets, and you can charge your devices off of your Surface Pro. Has the micro SD card in the back, which is huge. I know everybody's in love with the micro SD card. This is a 256 gig SD card, or 128. It's a 128 gig SD card, so you can take your information with you on the fly. That's a big deal. Here's the charging port for your Surface Pro. It's a proprietary cord, but the cord itself is really cool because it also has a USB port on the side of it so that you can charge your cell phones and your tablets and everything, your lightweight devices on that as well. Speakers throughout, or not speakers, but air vents throughout so that the unit can breathe. You have your camera on the front, camera on the back, and volume buttons, and it's not much more else to talk about. You do have your keyboard dock on the bottom. I don't feel it's fair to really talk about keyboards since I don't have the keyboard for the Pro yet, the iPad Pro, but the keyboard dock on the bottom works perfectly well. Great device. If you want to have this device, you have to have the keyboard. So when it comes down to it, what would be my recommendation? Which devices you buy? I say it's based on your needs, right? So when it comes to Apple comparing this to Microsoft, as far as the Surface, and Microsoft comparing itself to Apple, I give both companies 2 thumbs down. Yep, I said it, 2 thumbs down, because they're totally 2 different devices, right? So you got your iPad. Your iPad is for, if you have a lot of the OS applications from your iPhones and tablets, you're very invested into the ecosystem. you want fun games that you can play on, you want some lightweight editing that you can do, CAD design, then you're going to go with this. I mean, this is a very lightweight device that you can use in your bed. And now as far as the Surface Pro, this is for those users out there that always want to have a computer with them with the functionality of a tablet. I keep reiterating that point because they're totally two different devices for two different platforms. My personal preference and my personal choice, if you ask me, Tech B Swift, which one should I buy? I would ask you, what do you do? What do you plan on doing with this? And what are your needs? Because for me, I would say for somebody like myself, go with the Surface Pro. I'm into rooting and jailbreaking and creating custom ROMs. I'm a coder. I'm still in school. I use this thing nonstop everywhere I go because of the fact that it's so easy to use. The functionality is there. It's so portable. The battery life is amazing. And it does everything I need to do that my MacBook Retina, which is actually sitting on the floor next to me, does. You can see it in my other videos. But for somebody who just says, hey, I want to surf the web, I want to watch some videos, I want to play some games, I want to do a little drawing and CAD design, I will say the iPad Pro, you can't go wrong. It is a beautiful and well-built device. And the longevity of this device, I guarantee it at least 2 years, if not longer. Apple tends to do a very good job of supporting their older units and devices. So, you can't go wrong. The only downfall that I really struggle with the iPad Pro is the fact that outside the pen and the keyboard, it's really an iPad Air 2. It's faster spec-wise, but as far as the functionality, it's really an iPad Air 2. I know a lot of people will argue, say, well, you can do this, you can do that. Yeah, but for $100 less, you can do a lot of the exact same thing. Like I said, this is $599 plus the pen, so that makes it $699. Plus you go out and you have to spend the extra $150 plus to get the keyboard. You got $850. Over here, find your Surface Pro 3 that they clearancing out still. Buy you the keyboard that goes with it. You talking about potentially $599, $650 plus another $120, $770, maybe $800, maybe $850 depending on the model you buy. But the thing is, it's a full-fledged computer. So don't get caught up into that. I'm an Apple guy, I'm a Microsoft guy, because technology is technology. Pick the one that works best for you, the one that makes you happy with, the one that you're content with, and move on and tell the haters goodbye. So that's just me. I got both. I'm fortunate enough that I can do that. I'm a big techie. I will end up flipping it if I don't want it in the future, and trading it for something else, selling it, whatever. But I'm pretty sure my wife is going to end up with this. But hey, they're both amazing and excellent devices. So with that said, make sure you check my giveaway videos so you have a chance of winning all that cool stuff that I had on the table earlier. All my videos I've been doing about the giveaways. I got a lot of stuff coming. I got a lot of great companies out there that send me stuff and products to review, and I'm turning around and giving the products away to you guys. You can hit me up on TechBSwift Twitter. You can hit me up on TechBSwift on Instagram, on Facebook at TechBSwift, on Clash of Clans TechBSwift, Xbox One TechBSwift. If you playing that Call of Duty Black Ops, if you playing something else, you can still drop by and say hello. But I'm on that Black Ops right now. But like I said, guys, please look at the technology for what it is, what works best for you, what makes you happy. TechBSwift and I'm out. Please subscribe. Deuces. Those are not gang signs. That's the peace sign.